YouTube, it's Missy, and today I will be doing my 4th weekly wrap-up of the year. In this wrap-up, I will talk about the 2 books that I read in the underhyped read-a-thon. I was hoping to get to 3, but 2 is still good, and I'll just finish the 3rd one sometime this week. So the first book that I want to talk about is a book that I read on my Kindle, and it's called Come Little Children by D. Melhoff. This is a standalone adult horror paranormal fiction, and I was definitely surprised about the entire storyline. When you first start reading the book, you are thinking it's going to be a horror novel, maybe about puppets or some kind of puppeteer, and then you continue to read it, and then it turns into like a story that is very well known from Stephen King. That's all of the secret lingo that I'm going to be telling you. I don't want to give too much of it away, but it is so scary, and I never get scared from books, and this was pretty scary. So it's about a girl who's 26. She just graduated from mortuary school. Her name is Camilla, and she gets a call that she's got a job in the Yukon of Alaska, and she's really excited. She has to fly out there. The closest city with an airport is Dawson, and then she has to take a ferry to get to the island city of Nolan. Everybody in town is very wary of this funeral home, and Camilla doesn't understand what's going on, why the town is afraid of these people or calling them freaks. And she definitely finds out within the first week of being at this funeral home. It's very gradual. There's clues that are represented in the first couple chapters, and you can see that Camilla is getting more and more agitated about the secrecy of the family and their close-knit way that they live. It's always about the family, the family. Every decision is voted on, and it's just, she starts to feel uncomfortable, and she's wondering whether she should have chosen this as her first job out of college or not. Weird things happen, and there's a little bit of insta-love, but the thing that saved this book and the insta-love that came with it was that it was over 8 years of time. So there is insta-love, but they do get married, and then they live, the book spans 8 years, and so, you know, it lasts, and so it makes, it doesn't bog it down with she fell in love with him and then that was it. I really can't say too much else about this book without giving it away, except for there is embalming and all the things that happen with a funeral home, and a scary mother-in-law, and weird, spooky ghost children, and yeah. If you like horror and you want to pick up a book that talks about like living dead people, definitely check this out. I gave it, I think, 4 stars. I'm pretty sure. But it was really, really good. I did enjoy it. And it only has 155 ratings on Goodreads. It came out in 2013, I think. So definitely check it out. It was good. The next book that I read for the underhyped read-a-thon was Lark. Finally, another book off my shelf. So excited. This is by Tracy Porter. Yeah, Tracy Porter. And when I talked about this book before to you guys, I said that it was like a little ghost story. It's like 150 pages, and I thought it was going to be not really scary, but kind of like a fluff read, and I was looking forward to it, and the cover is really beautiful. But it actually was like 3 different kinds of contemporary books like intertwined into one. And like I said, it's really short, and if you look, like the font, I don't know, it's like inch maybe. The font is so big and the borders are so huge that it really didn't take me very long to read this, maybe 2 hours at the most. Lark, which is the main character of the book, she is 16, she's in high school, and she's a part of the gymnastics team. She's an overachiever, and every year she tries something new and more rigorous because she feels like she needs to make her parents proud of her. So like she first used to be a diver in the swim team, and she thought that that was great, but it wasn't challenging enough. And she used to be a journalist on the school paper. Again, it wasn't challenging enough. And so she's now into gymnastics so she can be in the Olympics and go to college and, you know, get straight A's and everything. So she's definitely an overachiever, and she slowly starts losing her friends because of this. And one day, while she's waiting for her father to pick her up from gymnastics, a man comes by in a car, and he's hysterical. And he's like telling her, please, please, can you point to me on this map where the hospital is? My son just got hit by a car, and I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know if he's about to die or what. I need to get to the hospital. And so Lark gets to the car, and she kind of like sits in the car to look at the map, and the guy slams the door and takes off with her, murders her, and leaves her for dead in the snow. And you learn about this in the very first chapter. It's like 3 pages long. And it's very sad, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, you know, what a horrible person. But the story, I mean, Lark is the main character, but there's 3 different points of view, and you also get to hear Eve, which is her old best friend. So there's points of view from Eve in here, and there's also points of view from Nieta. I think that's how you say her name. And she's a year younger than Lark is, and she lives right next door to her, so she used to be babysat by Lark, and so you get to hear her story. And so there's a little bit of like molestation in here, and divorce, and being traumatized, and parents not caring, and like how girls shouldn't dress inappropriately because then they can be raped and murdered. So it was like kind of heavy topics in this tiny little book, and it all, you know, swirls around what happened to Lark and how she was abducted and then murdered. And like the school is trying to have, you know, counselors come in, and the counselors are saying, well, you know, yes, she was a victim, but maybe she shouldn't have dressed in her leotard. Like, so it was kind of sad, but I was kind of even angry because they were making it out to be like, well, women shouldn't be able to dress the way they want, that they have to always be careful because men are out there and they're going to attack them. I don't know. I gave this book 3 stars. It was good, but it wasn't my cup of tea. And so this will definitely be a book that I do one of my trade away books with. So if you are interested in this tiny book, I know I didn't make it sound very good. I mean, it was a sad read. Francesca Leah Block is the author that blurbs on the back of here, and it says haunting, poetic, tender. And I mean, it is. It's haunting, poetic, and tender, but just not for me. So if you guys are interested in this book, let me know down below, and maybe we can swap. And then those are the 2 books that I read this week. I will continue to read The Edge of the Water. I just never got to this book because I was busy. And then I will also be reading an e-arc this week called The Sham by Ellen Allen. It's a YA mystery thriller, and it's also a contemporary. There's mixed reviews on it. It was on my anticipated reads, and I just so happened to be able to be contacted by Ever and asked if I could review it. And so I will be doing it this week, hopefully by Friday. And that is it. So I read 2 books in the Underhyped Read-a-thon. I will be starting 2 books this week. What are you guys reading? Let me know down in the comments below. I will talk to you guys soon. Hope you have a wonderful week.